What you up to?
Oh, just studying for my math test tomorrow. It's so hard.
Oh, nice. I majored in math.
Oh, really? What, do you think you could help me study tonight? I mean, if you're not busy.
Sure, I'd be glad to help. It's been ages since I studied in math, so I might be a bit slow, but I'll try my best. How do you want me to help you?
Can I ask you to explain number 17? Also, do you think you'd have the time to help me go through the exercises? I missed so many of them.
All of them? Sure.
I mean, no pressure or anything. Don't worry about it if you can't do it.
I'd be glad to help, seriously.
All right, welcome to lecture number 9. So right before the midterm exam, which I hope you did well on, by the way, we were talking about offering help to other people. But sometimes we are on the other end. Sometimes we need help from other people. Sometimes we have to make requests of other people. But asking for help and asking people to do things for us can sometimes be awkward. You don't know if they're busy, if they may not want to help you, right? So how do we do this naturally? How do we make requests naturally? That is the objective for today's lecture. We're going to learn how to ask people to do things in a polite way, in a polite, natural way. Okay, so in today's lecture, you'll be learning phrases and structures that native speakers often use when they ask for favors, when they make requests of other people. Okay, starting with part 1. In part 1, the first conversation tip that we have is, can you do me a favor, or could you do me a favor? You can also add one of these adjectives here. So you can say something like, can you do me a big favor? Can you do me a huge favor? Small favor, little favor? And you can also use this word here, could, instead of can. Now, of course, here you are not making the request. You're asking for permission to make the request, right? Can I ask you a favor? And then you make that request after they say yes. But sometimes the answer that they give you will not be a definite yes. So you might hear something like, well, it depends on what it is. What is the favor? Well, what is it? Okay. So depending on, of course, on how close you are. So people who aren't that close might say, sure, what's up? But if it's a close friend, they might be a bit more hesitant because they're honest and they're busy and they don't have to be extra nice to you, right? So if you look at these example sentences here, we're just going to hear this particular structure in different ways. Could you do me a favor? Okay. And here, could you do me a huge favor? Okay. So you're going to hear Stella emphasize huge. This is a really big favor that she's going to ask, okay? And she feels really kind of shy about it, about asking for this big favor. And could you do me a little favor? Okay, so obviously in this situation here, she's going to be a bit more 겸손해. Okay, she's going, could you do me a huge favor? Because she knows that the favor is going to be big. And in this, she's emphasizing the fact that this favor is really small. Let's listen.
Could you do me a favor? Could you do me a huge favor? Could you do me a little favor?
Okay, so there's a nice acting there, okay? So could you do me a favor? Like I said, you can also say, can you do me a favor? Okay, and could, people say sounds softer, but depending on your relationship and depending on your intonation as well, can also sound really polite. Can you do me a favor? Okay, for example, if I say it this way, it sounds super polite, right? Can you do me a huge favor? Can you, I said, but it sounds really soft because of my intonation. And can you do me a little favor? Let's listen to this one more time.
Could you do me a favor? Could you do me a huge favor? Could you do me a little favor?
Okay, very good. Let's move on to the next conversation tip. Now, this conversation tip is not a structure, it's just a sentence here. Feel free to say no.